Heyo, what's up guys, DP here, and I'm so excited to bring you guys a little something different today, the Black Ops 4 Blackout review. Now I personally haven't done any game reviews since the two big pillars of Battle Royale came out, PUBG and Fortnite. And of course you guys know my channel has been very PUBG dominant. And now that Blackout is being released, we have a new contender on the field, finally, something to look forward to, and I thought, why not start with a Battle Royale review of Blackout? I've been dabbling in the Battle Royale genre for a little over 3 years now. Most of my cred comes from my YouTube channel, and honestly, I'll leave that for the end of the video. If you guys are interested to know where I come from or what my past is with Battle Royale, I'll talk about that at the end of the video. With that said,
let's just jump into it.
Just like any other Battle Royale game, we're going to be reviewing it on a few different factors. Number 1, pacing. Number 2, optimization. Number 3, hit reg, which I think is the most important part of any Battle Royale, not having to deal with the desync. Number 4, weapon balancing. Number 5, vehicle balancing. Number 6, the loot tray. And last but not least, number 7, the replayability. Let's face it, like me, most of you are just here for the Blackout part of the game. Is it even worth the entire AAA title price of $60? Now when I talk about pacing, I mean the overall size of the map and how it plays with the player count. You start off initially with about 80 to 90 people on the map. You've got 14 to 15 contested loot spots. So by the time the second or the third circle hits, you're not going to have more than 40 or 50 people alive. Now I think that's really good pacing. It's faster than most Battle Royale. I personally appreciate the faster gameplay, but that doesn't take away from the actual overall Battle Royale experience. You're still going to have to fight people in an open world. You're still going to run into people outside the zone as well. There are going to be those moments where you're going to be able to push people outside while you're fighting yourself to get into the zone. And of course, there are times when you're going to be in a very good situation because the circle just happens to land on top of you. So I think the pacing is going to be instrumental when it comes to Treyarch selling more copies of this game, because after all, it is competing with games like PUBG, which are more of a slower paced game. I personally think that Treyarch was considering content creators when it came to this sort of a pacing and the fast paced format between 10 to 15 minutes for each round. And the reason why I say this is because the map isn't that big. You can run across the map from one end to the other. It only takes a few minutes. Vehicles aren't really that important or required. And you can always outrun the circle as well. So that makes flanking and rotating from one side of the circle to the other that much better. Suicidal bitch. Nice.
Oh, let's go.
Number 2, optimization. The game is going to be on the ID Tech 3 engine, which is the old Quake 3 engine. Surprisingly enough, it used to compete with the Unreal engine back in 2005, which is, I find a little bit ironic because PUBG is on the Unreal engine, and here we are 13 years later, and they're still competing on two different franchises. At the moment, because the game was in beta, we didn't get any anti-aliasing. But don't let that deter you guys. I still managed to get about 70 to 100 frames on almost all the rounds. Due to high populated areas like the firing range and larger cities, you will see a frame drop, especially in the beginning of the round when there's so many people alive and everyone's trying to land into the same areas. We also experienced a lot of frame drops, or should I say hiccups, at the start of the rounds when we were waiting in the lobbies. Most of my friends would encounter this crazy lag at the beginning, but I'm guessing it's just because it's the beta and they have to smooth out some of the lobbies and the issues that they face when you have so much loot rendering along with vehicles, houses, players all at one spot, that it would overwhelm the servers. Now when it comes to optimization, I will say this. There are a few things that they need to smooth out for sure. The game does look a little too pixelated sometimes, but the biggest issue about this beta was the random crashes. Oh, that's fun. Let's face it, that's what the beta is for, right? So they can smooth out these issues when the game comes out in full release. We don't have to deal with that sort of stuff. Okay. I will say this, however, that the water effects in the game look amazing. I like this. This is nice. They did a really good job on the water, let me tell you. The next thing we're going to talk about is combined with the optimization, of course, that we just covered, and that is hit registration. If you've ever stopped by and watched any of my streams, I've always mentioned that hit reg is more important sometimes than map size or the quality of the game itself. For someone that's experienced desync for years when it comes to Arma 3 Battle Royale and then PUBG Battle Royale, I think that hit registration is the heart of any FPS.
They'll fight each other.
Got him?
Sure.
Especially when it's a last man standing situation. Stability is key, guys, and life is precious. So you don't want to get screwed up getting hit when you were standing behind full cover, but your enemies will see you out in the open. I will, however, say this about the sniping. You do have to lead quite a bit. Most battle royales, because the maps, I guess, are bigger, you don't have to lead on until after 250 to 300 meters. On this one, you have to lead after about 100 to 150 meters. So sniping can be a bit challenging. Nice! And it's extremely rewarding when you make your shots.
Nice.
One down?
Nice.
My only one gripe when it comes to the hit registration is that there is a bar that tells you which direction you're being shot from. Ow. It tells you where you're getting shot from. That's weird. That's easy mode, right? And I personally am not used to that in Battle Royale. Battle Royale is about the immersion and the experience of last man standing. That's the only thing that I wish that Treyarch would remove. I understand that the hit detection is part of the Call of Duty engine, and that's how it is, and that's how it's always been. But if they remove the hit detection from Battle Royale, I think that it'll be a much more immersive experience. We're going to talk about number 4 and number 5 together, weapon balancing and vehicle balancing. I think that Treyarch has done an excellent job when it comes to the weapons alone. Range is going to be key when it comes to using the right weapon for the right range of your target. There are some fights in CQC situations where shotguns are king, and I mean that. Shotguns are literally king at the beginning of any round. And then there's other situations where a sniper or an AR are required. There are, of course, certain distances where certain guns will do better than others. But of course, in this game, weapon balancing is done well, especially when you consider that you can bring an AR to a rocket fight and lose. Oh, another guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit me with a rocket. There's little to no recoil control in the game, especially if you're fighting targets that are really close to you. In any situation or in any battle royale situation, you never know what gun your enemy's gonna bring to the table. Just that unusual factor of having a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, or even an auto shotty in Final Circle is what makes the gunplay so much better in Blackout. Okay, one more down.
Nice.
Oh, GG, boys. Now, I seriously can't say the same about the vehicles. The vehicles in the game are a little OP, okay? It takes a rocket. It takes a lot of rocket shots to kill the truck. And I saw the trailer, okay? You blew the quad up with one rocket.
I guarantee they're too far.
Bye.
Oh, you shot one?
Yeah, shot a rocket right at him.
Yeah.
Boom,
Oh,
dead.
it
He's down.
almost-
He's down,
No
he's down,
way.
down. Yeah, he's down.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
I'm
go
pushing
finish him.
with
Let's
you.
go finish him.
Yeah. His buddy's coming back, I think.
His
I can see that.
ATV is kind of rolling backward. Did you see that? It just rolled back. What's the deal, Treyarch? Where's the realism? You're breaking my immersion. Overall, I think the vehicle placement all around the maps is done well. The handling is also pretty good. My only gripe with the vehicles is that they're a little too tanky right now. Got him? Alright, let's get into the loot tray. And I honestly think that this is what makes the game so damn unique, is the loot options, the different perks, the different utilities that you get to use. Not to mention, scopes are abundant, different scopes fit on different guns. There's a lot of good balancing done when it comes to the upgrades on the weapons. Gear selection is pretty simple. You've got 3 tiers of armor, 1 backpack selection, and then the rest is pretty much up to you on how you want to play and how you want to customize your gun. You can fully fit them with stocks, attachments, different kinds of scopes, muzzles, and a ton of other stuff that you could specialize in, like grenades, throwing axes. And the utilities are also unique in the sense that you can use some at the beginning of the round. So for example, something like the looter perk is going to help you find loot, and an engineer perk will help you find vehicles if you have a long ways to get into the circle. You've also got perks that you can facilitate yourself with an end game. I'm talking about Final Circle, things like Dead Silence and Paranoia. And I don't think the perks are overpowered. I think that's a really, really good balance. Call of Duty obviously has been doing this for quite some time. So I feel like no one perk is so OP that it would tip the balance into your favor. You're still going to have to work for those victories. Honestly, there's only one negative that comes to mind when it comes to the loot, is that you cannot move around when you loot someone's bag.
There we go. Oh, you can't move. You can't. Force of habit, boys. Damn it.
So if you are in the habit of, like myself, a PUBG player, of looting someone and moving at the same time, it just won't work in the game.
I have to figure out how to do this faster.
Last but not least, let's talk about replayability, guys. This game is just plain and simple fun. IMO, it's fun to watch, it's fun to stream, and it's also a lot of fun to play with your friends. Now, I do need to give this caveat. I'm personally not a Call of Duty fanboy. I'm not beholden to PUBG or Treyarch or any of these big developers. My opinion is my own opinion, based on the fact that I have never played any Call of Duty games, and this is my first introduction into a battle royale Call of Duty option. I've never played zombies or anything like that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that yes, I will spend the $60 to get the game.
What the heck? No way.
You did it. You did it with a shotgun. You did it. However, the real question here is just Blackout, the battle royale experience, worth the $60? And for most people, it is not. I did take a little poll on Twitter a few days ago, and most of you sexy mofos thought that it would be better if it was just an individual release on its own, just the Blackout part, and if they could sell it to us for $30, because that would seem like a fair price. Some of you did say, of course, free to play, but not many said that they would pay the $60 just to play one little mode in the game. So here's all the positives and the negatives about the game. Now, this is all on my opinion. For most of you that are just coming into the channel, you probably don't know who I am. I told you guys I would talk about this at the end of the video, because if you've made it this far, then you probably would want to know about me. I've been doing Battle Royale for 3.5 years. I started off with Arma 3 Battle Royale, and then moved up from PUBG and now to other Battle Royale experiences. I've made multiple guides on Battle Royale games, and I feel like I have the experience needed to tell you of whether or not this game is even worth your $60. And as it stands at the moment, probably not. If this was just the Battle Royale experience for half the price, for $30, it would be worth it. I hope that Treyarch is listening, and I hope that Treyarch knows what a excellent money-making machine they have in Blackout, that they don't need to compile it with everything that's Call of Duty to get a bigger fan base and to get a broader audience. They can just sell just the Blackout part alone, make half as much, but they'll have a bigger player base. Well, that's my 2 cents. I'd love to know what you guys think, whether you disagree with me, you agree with me, or whether or not you're even going to spend the full $60 to purchase the game just for the Blackout version. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think, what your favorite guns are, what you like about Blackout, or maybe just what you don't like about Blackout. Anyways, guys, the Blackout review part of the video is over, and I just want to say thank you to all of you that clicked on the video and just for staying to the end. And for those of you that stayed to the end, I have a special surprise giveaway. It's going to be the $70K $70 Amazon gift card giveaway, and I wanted to do the giveaway last week, but 70K just came and went so fast, guys. 1,000 subscribers in less than 10 days. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for all your love and support. To all of my Patreons, my big donos, my subscribers on Twitch, and my sponsors on YouTube, you guys make all this possible. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a little something different, so I hope you'll share it with your friends, and let's see if we can get the video up to 1 like. Can we get 1 like? Thanks for watching, guys. As always, stay strong, and I'll see you.
He's right under us.
We gotta make this play. We gotta make this play. Let's go jump on his head. It worked! Let's go, baby! Let's go!